Got a blast.
What is going on, my people? How is everybody doing and how is everybody feeling? And today, welcome back to another video. And in today's video, I have a special requested video for you all. So as you can see, based off the title on the thumbnail and what's on the screen, I have a Miami Heat LeBron James build for you all today. So this is going to be my version of a LeBron James Miami Heat, right? So obviously, we're not going to be able to get LeBron James' exact Miami Heat build, right? Because this LeBron James to me is one of the best versions of LeBron and the era of how he played. This LeBron James Miami Heat was unbelievable. But this is my personal ideal complete Miami Heat LeBron James build that I think you'll be able to basically do everything exactly like how he did it. So you already know Miami Heat LeBron James, right hand. His jersey number was 6, but as you can see, you cannot get the jersey number 6. So I just went with 5. You know, if you want to go 23, that's up to you. I just left it at 5. We're making this as small forward. So the height, as you can see, is 6'9", right? And then we're gonna max out that weight at 250, and then we're gonna put the wingspan to 6'10", because when I looked at the Miami Heat all time, he had an 86 3-point shot. So I wanted to at least get that 86 3-point shot, and that's what I was definitely gonna go with. All right, so we're gonna start with our vertical. So for the vertical, I went with a solid 75 right here. This is gonna be amazing because this is gonna help us to enable contact dunks, and that's what we want for Miami Heat LeBron James. We want to be able to get contact dunks. For the strength, I only went with a 76. All right, so to me, this is more than enough. Some people may say this is not enough, but you got to keep in mind that you're gonna have strong handle. That's gonna definitely help with LeBron, being able to bump and just reduce the likelihood of you being bothered by defenders when dribbling. Some people may say no, he needs to be higher, but to me, when I'm making this Miami Heat LeBron James, I want to be able to be versatile in every level. Obviously, the offense has to be solid. It has to be overpowered. So I wanted to be able to get just enough of what I can get. So at least I have a 78 strength and not, any strength at all. So this is what I have to work with. 75 agility and 80 speed. So we're gonna have an 80 speed on this 6'9" height. I think that's gonna be great. This is gonna help being able to run or sprint around the court without the ball, but this is also gonna help with those chase downs because we will have a pretty decent block. 65. You might say, oh, Miami Heat LeBron should have a higher rebound, but to me, you got to think of how I'm trying to make this build. I want to be able to be versatile in every attribute category. So by going 65 on a defensive rebound, this allows me to be able to get the rebound animation from time to time. With this build being at 6'9", you're probably not going to even be snagging like that, especially if you're running with a center that is 7 foot or has a high rebound. You're not going to be getting rebounds like that. So you got to keep in mind, even if you go into the random rec, you can get a rebound from time to time, but you're not going to be able to just be snagging every time, because most centers nowadays, they have a 99 defensive, or at least they'll have like a 99 offensive or at least 96 rebounding. So you're not going to be snagging over these elite centers. The offensive rebound, we're not going to really worry too much about that. I just went 44 for the offensive rebound, but this is how I wanted to rock with it. If you look at the all-time list for the Miami Heat, they gave LeBron a 50-something block. I wanted to at least go with a 75 just so I could get high flying denier and paint patroller, right? Let me see, high flying denier, we can we could probably go, okay, so we would have to go 78 to get silver. To me, I don't think it really makes sense, because at least you can get high flying denial on bronze. You should be able to be perfectly fine. The steel, definitely gonna go with at least 60, because I want interceptor on this LeBron James build. So as you can see the vision, I'm trying to get a lot of different badges and put the attributes at a certain amount, so I'm able to get a little bit of everything. The perimeter defense, we're only gonna go with a 74, so we can be able to be a pretty solid defender at the perimeter. Interior defense, we're gonna also go 75. So as you can see, we have pretty much, the only thing that we don't have is bronze glove, but I believe the passing lane steals to me is a little more important than trying to just go for on-ball steals. I don't really think that's important. When maxing out our speed board, this is going to give us access to lightning launch on bronze. We can also put this to silver just so we can get more of a better lightning launch animation, if that's what you want to do. And then usually I would probably go 80, but for this build I only went with a 70. So you may say, oh, this is not enough, but this 75 is going to help you be able to dribble to certain areas on the court, just so you can be able to get certain animations as well when dribbling. You could try to go for 80 if you want, like cap breakers. If you put 5 here, you'll be able to get the 80, but to me, I don't think it's worth it. I think the 75 is going to help you be able to dribble to certain areas on the court. Pass accuracy, we're going 85. I'm not okay with not having at least an 85. The Miami Heat version of LeBron has an 87, but I want 85 because I want at least to get his passing style. To have a LeBron James build and not be able to get his passing style, at least to me, is kind of insane. Alright, free throw, all we're going to do is go with a 70. He didn't have a high free throw anyway, so we're going to go with a 70. 3-point shot, 86. Most LeBron James build don't really have this, but for this Miami Heat LeBron James build, we will have an 86 3-point shot, which is going to be amazing, and we will be able to get access to a lot of great jump shots by having an 86. So not only are we going to have an 86 3-point shot, for our midi, we're going to go with an 87. I went 87 on purpose. At first, I had it in the 90s, but I had to balance this build out. You can literally put 2 cap breakers here. For 89, you'll get set shot specialist on gold, which I would recommend you do that just so you can get set shot specialist gold. For the post control, we can't have a LeBron James build without any post control. We don't need to go high, but definitely that 79 is going to be amazing to get that post fade phenom. Stand and dunk, I went with a 72 because he has great stand and dunk. That's going to give you the bronze rise up. I feel like that's going to be great in certain situations. I went with an 87 driving dunk. Obviously, we know LeBron's driving dunk can be higher and maybe should be higher, but I went with an 87. And then for the layup, I definitely also went 90 right here, which is going to give us that gold physical finisher. And then we will also be able to go with that 80 close shot. So that's going to be solid. Here's what I'll do though, right? I personally will put, just like I said, 2 cap breakers to mid-range so you can get that 89 midi and goal shot specialist. You can put this driving dunk at least up to a 90 in my opinion. And then the layup, if you want to also go higher, then you could put like maybe 2 cap breakers here for gold layup mix master as well. To me, I think this is probably the best version of a Miami Heat LeBron James. You can literally do everything. But once again, most people are going to have their opinions on the build and say, oh, the build is trash. That's not Miami Heat. But you got to look at it from a point of me being very limited in what I can do, right? Obviously, we know LeBron should have, maybe gold posterizer, but you can still get that. All you would need to do is just 1 plus the posterizer to gold, and you'll be able to get that on gold. But I say at least a 90 driving dunk for LeBron, because you want to be able to get the dunk packages. You will be able to get the passing styles. The dribble 6, I'm not too sure, but I think this is probably the best LeBron James build, because you're not going to see most people have a LeBron James build that has a high three-pointer and a high midi like this. And you can literally be a point forward because you have that 85 pass act. The takeovers is also going to be incredible. You have so many takeovers to work with, so keep that in mind. Even if the attributes are not looking in the way that you see it, even after you put cap breakers is going to make the build so much more crazier, but you will be able to get into the 90s. Like, for example, if you wanted to use post conductor, you will be able to get like a 92 pass act, 82 post control, close shot, all of that good stuff. There's so many takeovers that if you choose from, you can literally get the type of attributes that you would want that's in the 90s. Like, look at that driving layup of a 97. He has a high driving layup if you look at the all-time roster, but it's really up to you. So once you do that, of course, you don't get Miami Heat LeBron James. I don't think you're gonna ever see a shades of LeBron James on this game. If you do, you let me know, but I know that there's no way to get that. But a two-way, three-level scoring threat, I think that's a great representation of the Miami Heat LeBron James. This build to me is very balanced across the board. Alright, so y'all let me know what y'all thought about this build, and until next time, much love.